And Friday, the 8th. So we have supersets. So I explain it on the sheet and I try to explain it. So basically what you're doing is 1, 2, and 3 are their own supersets, okay? Now you're gonna choose between 8 and 12 reps to do per exercise. So for me, my superset is gonna be 12 squats, 12 straight leg deadlifts, 4 rounds. Then I'm gonna move on to number 2, 12 sumo squats, 12 fire hydrants, 4 times. Then I'll move on to number 3, 12 forward lunges, 12 glute bridges, 4 times. That's what my supersets would look like. You might do 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8 with only 3 rounds. Whatever you get to pick. So you get to pick the number of rounds, you get to pick your number of reps, but we're doing the same supersets, okay? So as I put, you need to finish all of round 1 supersets before you move on to number 2. And basically a superset means it's done back to back. So I'm gonna just pretend like my rep number is 4 for number 1. I'm gonna show you what that superset would look like. Squat and straight leg deadlift. I think I did these with weight. You don't have to, it would just be a body weight squat. I think I did these with weight, so I would do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right into straight leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what superset means. Now I can rest. Then I'm gonna start over. So superset means back to back. You are not going to take a break between the 2 exercises or during any exercise. So if you need your number to be lower than 8 because you can't do it without a break, lower it. But the point of a superset is to do one thing and go straight into the second thing. So squat, if you've been with me before, straight leg deadlift, weighted sumo, wide stance, fire hydrants, weighted forward lunges. You'd have a weight in both hands, forward lunge, and glute bridge. All right, squat. So again, we've gone over squat before. I wanted to do a weighted one, so that's what I did. That means you just hold the weight in front of you. It's also called a goblet squat. And you're gonna get a nice stance and just squat down and up like you normally would, but this time you're holding a weight. Hold it on your chest and make sure you don't let it drag you forward. You should still have your body upright. This is how I typically hold when I'm doing the goblet squat. So you're gonna do your squat, straight leg deadlift. So this is ideal for a kettlebell. If you don't have one, that's fine. Or if you have a barbell, if you don't, that's fine. So I always show it with dumbbells. So you can do it with 1 or you can do it with 2. So say I'm gonna do it with 1, I'm gonna hold it by the top and I'm going to act like it's a kettlebell. So with my straight leg deadlift, what I'm doing is I am bending forward at the hip, so my back is straight, then my butt is gonna start pushing back to the wall. Okay, so I have a slight bend in my knee, my back is going down, my butt is pushing back, and I'm lowering until I feel my hamstring pull, which is this right here, okay? So I feel that pull, stand up, squeeze your butt. Let your back down, let your butt go toward the wall, slight bend in the knee, feel that pull in the hamstring, stand up. Down, up. So again, my back is lowering to the ground, but it's straight. My butt is going backward to the wall and my knees are slightly bent. So I'm not bending at the knee, I'm hinging at the hip. I'm hinging at my hip, I'm not bending at my knee. I'm hinging at the hip. Okay, so my butt is still fairly high off the ground and it's pushing back to the wall behind me. My back lowers because I'm hinging at my hip and it's straight. It's not hunched like this. It's not, anything weird. It's just bending straight, coming up. So I don't recommend that you do this with totally locked knees. You never really want to ever do anything with totally locked knees, but some people like to do theirs with super, super straight legs. I just am not comfortable that way. So I always make sure I've gotten like kind of a, slight bend in my knee. So that's your superset number 1. Superset number 2 is weighted sumo and fire hydrants. So your weighted sumo, you're gonna hold the weight down between your legs by the top of the weight. Sumo basically means your feet are turned outward, okay? So when you turn your feet outward, it's gonna put more emphasis on your inner thigh and your butt. Regular squat stance puts more emphasis on the front of your legs, which is your quads, and your butt too, but sumo actually hits your butt better. So if you're somebody or you know somebody who does a million squats because you're trying to get a bigger butt, you should actually be doing sumo squats or really heavy regular squats. Most people don't do really heavy, so you should be doing sumo squats because it's gonna tighten up your inner thigh and it's gonna tighten up your butt. So sumo squat, it should be wide stance. It doesn't have to be really wide, especially if it's uncomfortable for you. It's more important that you have your toes pointed outward. That's what's gonna shift the focus from the front to the inner, okay? Hold the weight down below, sink down, up, sink down, up. Your weight might hit the floor, it might not. Outward toes, sink down. You wanna try to avoid coming really far down with your shoulders. It's okay to kind of bend a little bit forward as long as you're feeling it hit that inner thigh, but you don't wanna be like way, because then you're almost getting into a deadlift type of stance. So you wanna make sure that you're still squatting low enough and not just trying to touch the dumbbell to the floor, okay? So again, out pointed feet. And you can even do it without weight, but you should feel it pull more on the inner thigh than on the top. And you're gonna go right into fire hydrants, which is gonna get the sides of your butt. So you're gonna be kneeling, hands and knees, and your legs are gonna be at like a 90-degree angle. All you're doing is lifting that leg into the air at that 90-degree angle and back down, up, down. So I'll show you from the front, up, down, and then you're going to switch. So you're doing, say you pick 12, you're doing 12 sumo, 12 right fire hydrant, 12 left fire hydrant, break. 12 sumo, 12 right fire hydrant, 12 left fire hydrant, break, okay? And then your third superset is weighted forward lunges and glute bridges. So again, you don't have to use weight, but if you can, do. Hold 2 dumbbells by your side, forward lunge, back together. Forward lunge, back together. Again, your feet should be staggered, not stacked. So you can still see both of my feet. My knees are pointing forward. They're not bending in or bending out. My body is staying upright. And I'm just sinking down with 2 90-degree angles, okay? That's your forward lunges, right into your glute bridge, which is on the ground. And you're gonna have your knees bent. You're gonna squeeze your butt as tight as you can up, lift your hips, down, 1. Squeeze up, down, 2. So make sure that you're thinking about lifting your hips as well as squeezing your butt. Because I can squeeze my butt and like not go that high. Like to me, that's okay, I squeeze my butt. If I think about lifting my hips, now I'm way up here, okay? So squeeze and lift. And sometimes this hurts my knee. So I fell recently, so I fell on my wrist too, but that was a while ago. A couple months ago, I fell on my knee, like straight onto my kneecap. And now I notice when I do bridges, it's like pulls something weird in this knee when I squeeze up, which I don't know why. So sometimes I like widen my stance. Sometimes I actually move my feet in or out just to see if that helps. But it shouldn't bother you, but if it does, those are some things you can do to try to fix it. And that is your week 1.